All right, guys, how's it going out there? Fishing California with EBA. Today we're talking all about Folsom Lake, located in Folsom, California. Central California, just on the northern side if you really want to get technical, but central slash NorCal. This lake, we're going to do a fishing report, talk all about what we've been, I've been out there twice, what I've been, seeing, what I've been hearing in the last couple weeks. What's going on. There's a transition. We're in a summer transition. So that lake is usually, we'll start with the bass fishing. Usually the bass fishing picks up, March, I would say, end of February, March, depending on, each year, how much rain, how cold or warm that weather is, that front. We get it at the end of February, the early March is when we really start having that bass bite pickup. And it did just that this year. It did just that. And so, the fishing was really good. But unfortunately, we've had some Chinese muzzle type situations, or I want to say more of a, it's more of a more than a situation. It's, caused shutdowns. It's caused, quarantines. It's caused a lot of people a lot of money, and of course it's caused us not to be able to access lakes with our boats. So you guys already know all about it. Now, however, it does mean that a lot more locals are going to be at Lake Folsom this year, as there have been, and a lot more locals are going to be local to, I got to pick a lake for this year, this Chinese muzzle problem that's being not clearly understood, or at least explained to me, in the sense that they don't actually know where it's going. The procedures in place are temporary. They're not long-term. They don't even actually work. There's so many problems with the policy of it, but also my question is, what is your plan? So the plans moving forward are really scary. Folsom Lake, however, has had less boats on it than, years in the past. So what this means is, these fish aren't lockjawed, and there's been what I would say is a really good bite from the shore, a really good bite from the boat. In general, a really good bite, all species considered. However, the bass fishing has just been, it's been better. It's been better. You go out there, I expect to catch fish. So let's talk about what's working, and let's talk about this summer transition happening. So what is working? What is working is drop shot. I mean, it's hard to beat like a 4.5, 6-inch margarita mutilator or a morning dawn robo worm. It's hard to beat Senkos. It's hard to beat topwater, poppers, walk the dog baits. It's kind of hard to beat it when you're out there, float and fly type situations have been highly effective for me. Those methods are just, for me, you're going to get bit. Jerk baits, of course, jerk baits. You're going to get bit almost every time you go out on that type of, those presentations, those techniques. Colors, of course, are going to matter. Right now, I do notice that the gill pattern doesn't get the spotted bass very often. It gets the largies, and they like the gill, the bluegill. They like feeding on the bluegill, and the spotted bass I catch a lot more on the float and fly, or I can catch them on a Senko and other stuff, but they tend not to like the bluegill. So that's a bit different. Largemouth versus the spotted bass. The spotted bass are always going to be deeper. It seems like, other than the spawn, even in spawn, they'll come out and spawn deeper. So the bass bite's been really good. We're going to talk about the trout bite, which, I would say is, you've got your rainbow trout, if you've got a boat, you're down rigging, you got a, you're scoping, you got a fish finder, you could get one here or there. I mean, it's not, the bite right now for trout's not good at all. And the king salmon bite, not very good at all. There is a lot of water coming in to Folsom, a lot of water coming down the American into Folsom. So, I would expect the water temperatures to be slightly cooler right now than a normal year. We haven't had as many heat waves, so I imagine that water temp's cooler. You know, those fish right now are, you know, about to be, they've already probably went through the whole summer transition. Turnover has already happened, but they're still going to be on the tail end of that old bite, but they're really going to be starting to key in on some different things here in the next few weeks. I'm probably going to go smaller, and I'm probably going to go smaller just because, you know, they're very aggressive. They're highly competitive. A lot of these fish in Folsom, they are highly, you know, it's a robust population, a diverse ecosystem, and so, you know, going smaller, I've done really well there. And another reason is because I'm going to start to transition target more from that bass bite in the future here to that panfish bite. And that panfish bite, I can go smaller, and I can catch panfish and bass on the same gear. So that's why I'm saying that that's something that I was doing the float and fly. I'm going to continue to do stuff, methods and techniques like that that allow me to present things that are much smaller. The panfish bite there has been not very good. However, there are some areas that are vegetation, water coming in. I'm going to give you a couple hints. You got like some feeder creek, you got some vegetation, you've got some so lots of structure, let's say cracks or, you know, small sections within boulders where these bluegill can hide, ledges, things of that nature, pockets with shade. If you've got a couple of those things in an area, you know, and of course, you know, depth, the depth right now that they're holding at, you know, I mean, they're going to, you know, be, you know, shallow, but then they're also going to be as deep as, say, 15 to 18 feet in other areas. And, you know, we're going to have a spawn. So as soon as that water temp hits 78, which I would say, so they've had their first spawn wave for the panfish already, and we should be on the second wave next week. And they spawn about 3 times in that fishery, the panfish. So, you know, that's always fun, hitting each spawn. However, you know, we have, you know, right now, I would say if you're on the wrong spot, the panfish bite's terrible. If you're at the right area, the panfish bite can be a blast at Folsom right now. As far as everything else, I haven't heard nothing about catfish. I haven't obviously gone catfishing there. I haven't, you know, really heard anything about giant fish. I haven't heard anything about trophies, 5-pound largie, 4-pound studs, but no, nothing bigger than that. I mean, those are few and far between. So, you know, definitely get out there. Definitely, still a great fishery right now. Still fishing really good. I do expect things to taper off maybe, 6 weeks from now. And I expect the 6 weeks following the next 6 weeks will be very difficult in comparison with the last 12 weeks or 14 weeks. So that's going to be due to the transition period and the water starting to actually flip again. So I really hope this helped you guys out. We're just trying to talk about, we've been out there twice, fished for, you know, I don't know, 4 hours each time. And we were able to catch a bunch of bass, but we didn't catch anything of size. We might have caught like some two something, 2 and change. I didn't, you know, it's not going to be a 4, or I don't think it's at least 4-ish plus. I don't even have a thought to weigh it anymore. But actually it's becoming more irregular than that most of the time, unless I think it's bigger than that even, you know, if it's not at least what I think's past 5, I'm not weighing it, you know, anymore. But, you know, good bite right now out there for, you know, bass, good bite out there for the panfish, and, you know, still a good place to get away right now with, like I said, all the different things going on. And hopefully with the weather that's coming, we're getting into warmer weather. You know, there has been an excess of people out at Folsom using the day use. So hopefully by the time the weather gets, you know, a bit more hot, scares all those, you know, weekend warriors away, and get the lake back to ourselves. And that's when I'm probably going to go back out there when that next transition happens and really put some time in on top water. So hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.